Brett Favre is suing the host of the best sports show around, Patt Mcafee. Now, I know I've made fun and teased Patt Mcafee in his show before in my videos, but in the end, I don't hate Patt Mcafee. He's not my favorite sports analyst around, but you know, when you're talking 5 days a week for multiple hours a day, not everyone's gonna agree with everything you say. You're probably gonna get burnt out and just say some dumb things. So I guess I'm just putting a disclaimer that I don't hate the guy. I don't wanna be a hateful asshole on the internet. We already have enough of those. The Pack. Pat put out this tweet today, and there's a lot of words.
I ain't reading all that.
Apparently, there's been a lot of drama going around about Brett Favre, a lot of stories, and to be honest, I have not kept up with any of it. I honestly didn't know anything was going on, and I saw this tweet, and I started reading it, and it made zero sense. So I thought I'd figure everything out and share it to where it makes sense so everyone can know what the hell is going on about this situation that doesn't mean anything and people won't talk about it ever again. This reply was quite funny and I read all of it, and I don't know if I'm just illiterate or what, but I comprehended nothing. I read it all. I still have zero idea what's going on. To start off, Class Act McAfee started his rant or his message with, as of a few moments ago, I have filed for the dismissal of Brett Favre's defamation lawsuit against me in federal court in the fine state of Mississippi. I very much understand that next to nobody on earth wants to hear more about this type of stuff, so I apologize for contributing more negativity and bullshit into a world seemingly filled with too much of them both to begin with. Now on my channel, I pride myself for being the most unbiased sports analyst in the world. I never ever give out my opinion. I always keep a level of zero bias, but if I were to give my opinion out, I would say, why the hell would you start out your message like this? First off, when you start your report like this, I feel like it instantly decredits you and instantly contradicts you, and then it brings replies like these, which are quite funny, but by saying you don't want to spread more negativity in this world, but then you do it, like, what the hell? What I've learned is when you're going to say something, own it. If you're going to share your opinion publicly and try to persuade a bunch of people on the internet, don't put that level of doubt into their brain. I know it kind of sounds like an asshole move, but it's the truth. If you're trying to persuade a group of people and share your opinion by saying this, you're instantly gonna change people's minds and kind of embarrass yourself. For example, let's say I hold the opinion that energy drinks are good for you and there's a lot of benefits. If I'm gonna share a report or video about my opinion on energy drinks and how they're good, I'm not gonna start it with all the negatives from energy drinks and then list my opinion of how they're good, because instantly people are gonna read the negatives first and then form the negative opinion about energy drinks. I know that's not the best example, but if Pat really feels like he needs to share this information, he needs to share his side of the story for this current thing that's going on, then he needs to own it. I guess what I'm saying is if you're gonna share something, own it. Don't doubt yourself. Don't put down other people's minds. Just share. If you need to share something, put it out there. So as we know that AI is going to be taking over the earth soon and nothing matters, I went ahead and asked ChatGPT to please summarize this for me to where it makes sense. And the summary reads, the author of this statement, Patt Mcafee, has filed for the dismissal of Brett Favre's defamation lawsuit against Patt Mcafee in a Mississippi federal court. They believe that the lawsuit was a joke and an attempt by Favre, a public figure, to silence people from talking about his alleged wrongdoing. The author, Patt Mcafee, and their team of lawyers are confident in a dismissal, but are prepared for the next steps in court if necessary. The author also extended an invitation to Favre to match their donation to a charity and help the citizens of Mississippi. They apologize for contributing negativity and hope that the situation will be over soon. Now, the donation refers to the part of the message where Patt Mcafee said, Brett, match me with a donation to a Big Brother Big Sisters Foundation in Mississippi. Let's help out the next generation of Mississippians together. Let's give some support to the citizens of your state who might need it a little bit. And let's make something positive out of this sad clown show of a defamation suit with no merit. Now, I know I dissed Patt Mcafee's intro, but honestly, from what I've read so far, I was kind of on his side. Like, come on, Brett Favre, you're really suing this man. You're kind of embarrassing yourself. But now Patt Mcafee has challenged Brett Favre to donate money. in Mississippi, and he's saying, let's make something positive out of this sad clown show. I get what he's saying, but I feel like this just isn't a good look for Patt Mcafee. I know his intentions are probably good, and honestly, they probably aren't. His intentions probably aren't even to help out the people of Mississippi. It's just to make Brett Favre look bad and him look good. I feel like it would have been a bit better if Mcafee would have just made a donation instead of talking about one, because we know Brett Favre isn't going to make a donation, and Mcafee said match me. So I feel like it's just all talk, and I feel like this just kind of makes Mcafee look bad. And at the end, he said, let's make something positive out of this sad clown show. Well, I'm sorry, Mcafee. Sometimes on the internet, it's best to say less than more, because when you say more people are going to disagree with you, and sometimes you end up saying some dumb things. And at this point, this apparent clown show is headlining both of you, Favre and Mcafee. The clown show, come get your tickets. That was cringe, but at this point, it's embarrassing for both of them. I saw a reply on Twitter that was saying, this seems like a big look at me from both of these guys, and honestly, it is when you're saying shit like this. I also didn't like when he said, let's give some support to the citizens of your state who might need it a little bit. I don't really understand why he had to say that. I just feel like you're just dissing people that are less fortunate than you. I can't really explain why I don't like that statement, but it just doesn't really sit right with me. It just makes me kind of cringe and not feel good. And also with this big statement, did Mcafee really need to post this, or was this just for clout and attention? He said that he believes that the suit is going to be dropped and that nothing's going to come out of this. So if he actually thought, and his lawyers thought, that it would be dropped, there's no reason in posting all this and talking about some big donations that you're not going to make. And even if he does make it, there's no reason to make all this attention about this if it's just gonna get dropped anyway. Or I wonder, was this some sort of scheme that if Mcafee sheds a bunch of light on this and Brett Favre will drop it because he doesn't want to go through a big public trial or something and make himself look even worse? I doubt that's the case, and even if it was, there's still no reason to say all this donation bullshit with it. Now, the reason that Favre is suing Mcafee is that the former NFL punter has criticized Favre several times on his show. The suit alleges Mcafee spread outrageous falsehoods on the air, accusing the Hall of Famer quarterback for stealing money from the poor, money right out of their pockets, and stealing from poor people in Mississippi. And the whole spiel going on with Favre is that it's no secret that authorities have spent more than 2 years probing an alleged welfare fraud scheme in the state of Mississippi, as well as former Green Bay Packer quarterback Brett Favre's role in it, having reportedly received $1.1 million in welfare funds to deliver motivational speeches he never gave. Talk about a classic Packer quarterback. I'm kidding. The investigation is on $70 million, which is believed all to be fraud. We're not sure on how much Brett Favre actually got, but also a $5 million award was also used to build a volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi, where both Favre and his daughter attended. So Favre is suing Mcafee for the defamation lawsuit that Mcafee was spreading these false rumors that Favre stole money from the poor, which it hasn't been proved, and Favre hasn't been charged with anything. But you know, even though it's not technically true, there's a chance it still could be true, but we don't know that. As of now, it is not true that Favre stole any money because he's not been charged with anything, and that's where I stand. Favre has not stolen any money. That's where I stand. We don't know if it's 100% true or not, because innocent until proven guilty. So Brett Favre, if you're watching this, I don't think you stole any money. I think it could be true, because there's a possibility that anyone could have done anything, because it's innocent until proven guilty. But if you're watching this, don't sue me, because I believe it to be not true. Now, Brett Favre suing Mcafee for saying this. I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea that there's this whole scandal about Favre. This isn't a new story. I believe it was like a year ago that this story originally came out, or rumor came out. So first off, Favre, why the hell are you suing Mcafee for this? You know, Mcafee has a history of when people are hating on him or diss him, even though they're not dissing him, or just don't like something he said, he's gonna shed a lot of public light on it. For instance, last NFL football season, before week 17, Dan Campbell's assistant denies an interview with Mcafee. Mcafee goes crazy. This is the Lions and makes a fool of himself. We all remember that, right? So by Brett Favre suing Mcafee for defamation, if he wins or loses the lawsuit, who cares? A bunch more people are gonna know that you maybe there's a chance or a rumor that you did some bad shit. You played yourself, Favre. And for McAfee, I think it was fine that you shed light on this situation. I think it was fine that you made a report saying what's going on, because it would have made you look good and Favre look bad. But I just didn't like how you said some certain things and incorporated the donation war with Brett Favre. Not my favorite, but hey, I'm just reporting the news. Unbiased Steez here. I hope you enjoyed the report on the clown show between McAfee and Favre. I hope all ends well. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm your unbiased sports analyst here. If you enjoy my content, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And once again, thanks for watching. I'll always bring you the stories you want to hear all about the NFL.